large amount of harm to the community back in Rajasthan. So it had different examples, shocking examples. And one more that was an observation documentary of the environment in the Gulf region. The titles are relevant because having seen the results, it seems that the videos that are most shocking and scary and downright controversial are the ones that affect the young people most, because it creates intrigue in their mind.
Facing the world with your camera, and this was started many years ago, exactly on the verge between fascist period and the Second World War, when the neorealism cinema was born by people like Rossellini, who gave, then after came Fellini and Pasolini and all these people around. And that was when the Italian cinema, after the fascism, after the fall of Mussolini and all this, that story, because the studios were absolutely destroyed by the war. There were no actors. Well, actually, the actors couldn't express the reality of the life. That's a period, they call it, of the white telephones, The films during the fascist period were mostly made in the studios with decors, fashion and everything. But suddenly, with the burst of the neorealism, the cameras went through the streets. There were no more studios. And the people who were invited, who were brought in front of the camera, were the normal people in the streets.
So a good actor must mind what the camera captures. So this is very difficult and can be easy at the same time if you know the rule and so on. We can I can add some example for that kind of cinema. As Ashita said, Satyajit Ray from India, Mrinal Sen, the trilogy, the Apu trilogy, and so on, because he started to choose people from the street.
If you get familiar with cameras, you ignore them after a while. Besides, at the time, probably 50 years ago, or whenever these documentaries were made, the camera was a novelty. Probably some of these fishermen didn't even have a TV. They didn't know what cinema was. So for them, it was just another object on the boat. They were busy doing their job. So that's a good point. That's the point.
Although there is science of penalties here, 500 different there, and 100 different there, but this is just a stickers. Things which really is very annoying and very saddening as well. When I see the camels in our desert not far away from Dubai dying because of eating these waste left over in the desert. Though there is some very shy, trial by the municipalities to prevent people throwing the used bottles or garbages in the deserts. But it seems to me still the problem is there. The security, they have to check how many plastic bottles we are carrying in the jeep. And they did really count it 10. And in the way back, they counted there are 10 bottles or plastic bottles still with us. Ecological footprint, and the UAE has the highest ecological footprint in the region, so in the world. It's more than USA by 1.5, 4 times of the UK. Absolutely wrong. What the hell you do with the 3 mobiles? This is a waste. 2 cars, high-speed car. This is all energy consumptions. Lacking of responsibility of putting the light off and water dripping just like that, and their affections toward the environment, because here everybody wants water. The human, the birds, the plants, and the water is not coming naturally. It's coming artificially, you see. So it's a very costly way. We have to work on this. We have to work how to make and provide a cheap water.
But what I'd like to know is, what did you achieve on the documentary? We know that most of the youth, they didn't know about all the issues about environment?
Well, that would be a sad answer that it does not achieve it much in terms of filmmakers. Of the students who participated, they formed a group called Teens for Positive Action. And what they do is get involved in regular community service as part of their course. They have a few credit points that go towards their course where they have to have worked towards the environment. So that group of teenagers does do their bit. That's what we've done. But what I was really, really hoping for this was to give a start, because the whole idea of this documentary was to find out, are these films effective?
That's different from documentaries. Public services announcement is specifically for giving social awareness. And I hope next year we get the chance to define these two categories and screen some good examples of PSA and very good examples of documentaries. These are totally different categories. And what we are talking about, putting it on YouTube, giving awareness, we are talking about PSA. And PSA is, yes, everybody's responsibility, but good documentary, we can see it from Maestros. And thank you all for being here tonight.
در خدمت آقای شادمهر راستین هستیم. در این برنامه شرکت کردن و ازشون میخوایم که برای ما توضیحاتی در مورد خودشون بدن و در مورد کارهاشون بگن.
من فیلمنامه‌نویس مستندساز هستم و الان حدود 3 ساله که با جشنواره داکیومنتری وایسز که خانم زمانی توی دبی برگزار میکنه به نوعی همکاری میکنم. ما اینجا ورکشاپ‌های فیلمنامه‌نویسی داشتیم در 3 مرحله و امسال خب استقبال خیلی بهتری شده بود و فکر میکنم خانم زمانی با این جشنواره‌ای که توی دبی داره برگزار میکنه که جشنواره مستقلیه یه تلنگری زده به مخاطب توی دبی و به خصوص یه فضایی رو ایجاد کرده برای ایرانیایی که دارن تو دبی کار فرهنگی انجام میدن.
گام بسیار بزرگیه. ما میدونیم که فیلمسازی دشوارترین و سختترین کار جهان شناخته شده و در این حال تاثیرگذارترینه که البته به نام لاویش پروداکشن معروف هست که در واقع معنیشو میدونید، یعنی با بدون هزینه کردن و بدون بودجه و داشتن بودجه نمیشه این کار رو انجام داد. کار بسیار پرخرجی است، همونطور که معروفه به لاویش پروداکشن. منتها از اونجایی که ما ایرانی ها به هر حال دوست داریم همیشه خدمتگزار باشیم، من فکر کنم سختی های زیادی رو خانم دکتر مهشید زمان متحمل شدن تا همچین محفلی رو میسر شد که برپا بکنن. به هر حال بسیار دشواره، به خصوص دعوت کردن افراد مختلفی از ایتالیا، از فرانسه. خانم دومینیک اینجا هستن که ما با هم صحبت کردیم، بنده از ایران، جناب پدیده مستندسازی و در واقع پدر مستند ایران شاید به نوعی و واقعا هم اینطور هست، آقای استاد کامران شیردل. خب ببینید اینا همه ساده ترین هزینه ها رو که براش حساب بکنیم هزینه میبره و بعد حالا تهیه تدارک دیگه. اینه که بسیار گام بزرگی رو برداشتن با توجه به که من میدونم اونطوری که باید پشتیبانی نشدن، اما قول‌هایی داده شده، وعده‌هایی داده شده که برای سالهای آتی این پشتیبانی ها درست‌تر، عمیق‌تر و گسترده‌تر بشه و شایسته‌تر. حتما هم اینطور میشه.
Documentary Voices also gave UAE-based talent another opportunity to develop their documentary making skills through supervised workshops led by experts covering the entire aspect of filmmaking. The nature of the workshops also grown substantially since the inception of Documentary Voices. This year we have expanded the workshop program to reach out to the students from the University of California in Los Angeles.
And I work with a group of students at Abu Dhabi University who are beginning in an environmental science major, and so I work with many students who are concerned with the environment. But throughout the university, it's interesting to see how they interact with the other students, and listening to the voices and opinions in this movie, it really looks very similar to the voices that I hear throughout the university on a table with their Coke can and their wrappers sitting on the grass next to them when they walk away. And so you wonder how much really gets inside of them. And the thing I see with the environmental students is some of these students, the things that amazes me is that they're very interested in it and they continue. And the question would be, why are these few students very interested compared to many of the other students?